Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to another video blog post. In this video, I want to talk about getting started in web design or where to start. I've gotten a few emails this week on the same subject on people asking me where to start. I've probably answered this question in different places throughout my video blogging, in various videos. I don't know where, but it's always good to sort of refresh and just give people pointers on where to get started when if you're interested in becoming a web designer, web UI designer, where you should start. I think this is a valid question that people ask because there's so many things that are out there and so many ways to get started. There's no right and wrong, but let me give you my advice on if I had a friend and my friend was asking, Mike, how should I get started? Here's my tips, okay, on where you should get started. In general, you want to start teaching yourself the basics, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's not about learning and becoming an expert in some of the more fancier things like HTML5 and JavaScript and all that stuff, CSS3. Just, you want to focus on the basics, okay? So the first thing you want to do is obtain a graphic design program. And obviously, in my opinion, the leading graphic design programs comes from the Adobe suite. So Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Fireworks, and Adobe Illustrator. Those are some of the leading graphic design programs that you're going to, as you grow throughout your career, these are the leading programs that all companies sort of look for, or would require you to kind of have a familiar with. So you want to go, and if you don't have a copy of Adobe Photoshop or Fireworks or Illustrator, you can always download a 30-day free trial at adobe.com. Okay, so you got to obtain your graphic design program first, Photoshop, Fireworks, or Illustrator, one of those three, or all three, and then go to YouTube. Okay, go to YouTube and search on tutorials on how to use these programs. Okay, this is what I consider an organic process, because during this process of going to YouTube and watching free tutorials on how to use these programs, you're going to get familiar with these programs and kind of figure out if this is fun for you, or if this isn't, if this is cool, and then the creative juices will start flowing, and then you could that will lead into more questions. But this is I think everybody needs to start on YouTube first, because there are free tutorials. There's so many things you can learn and search for, and learn about using these programs, get familiar with these programs, and just learn how to use these programs in terms of a graphic design sense, okay, and what you can do with them. Secondly, okay, so first one is YouTube. Secondly, you want to start learning about basic HTML and CSS, okay, and you can go to a website called htmldog.com. There are probably many different resources out on the web, but this is one that I recommend. They have free tutorials, and you can just browse through and learn about the basics of HTML and CSS. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is, at this point, after you've sort of you've gone, you spent weeks on YouTube, learning about some of the graphic design programs that you have. You spend weeks or months, if not, learning about HTML and CSS. Thirdly, that's when I think you're ready to start investing some money into some more formal online web design training. Okay, three places that I recommend. Number one is lynda.com. This is how I got started. I got started on lynda.com because they have so many different tutorials on teaching you these programs and learning about different things. So they have a $25 subscription model, and you can cancel at any time. So I remember doing it for about 3 to 4 months, learning what I needed to learn, and then canceling it, and that was that. Okay, the second one is Treehouse. I believe the website is called teamtreehouse.com. This is I know of some of the designers there. They're top designers and developers, and they're really good. And what I like about Treehouse is that they have a variety of courses that you can learn: mobile design, you can learn mobile development, iOS development, you can learn JavaScript, you can learn web development, responsive design, all these different things. Okay, so there's not just one focus. You can learn different things. So if you wanted to kind of get more advanced in web development and things like that, That's what I like about Team Treehouse. Okay, it's teamtreehouse.com. And thirdly is taking a course or finding a course like mine. Okay, and what I mean by that is you want to find someone that you resonate with, a mentor in the field of web design or somewhere that you're interested in. Okay, so it doesn't have to be my course, but I recommend my course for those of you if you resonate with how I teach, kind of like my down-to-earth, non-robotic style. This is what I like to tell people is like this is how I teach, and I basically through my web design training course is just learning about, it's the foundation of becoming a web designer, teaching you web design, but continuing to build on that. I teach people and I give people tips and advice and things in my career on what I do on a day-to-day basis in becoming a web UI designer. And I do this by putting out continuous videos on a month-to-month basis. Somewhat every week I put out new videos, and I give you tips and advice and things in terms of what I do and what I recommend and how I do things as a web UI designer, and teaching you things like that. So I recommend anybody who's interested in becoming a web designer to take this route and then find that mentor. You know, lynda.com, Team Treehouse are good resources, but find that mentor, someone that you really resonate with, someone that you like in terms of their training style, and someone that you can kind of mimic and follow and ask questions and gain value and things like that. Okay, so that's where I think everyone, this is my advice on the flow and where you should get started. All right, so that's it. Start on YouTube for free. Go to htmldog.com and take weeks or if not months and just study these things online for free, okay, before you start investing in any online formal training. All right, if you have any more questions, guys, visit my website as always, mlwebcode.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. We'll talk soon. Peace.